Who steals trailers from the Boy Scouts? And other than a trailer yourself, I mean, what could you possibly want with all that stuff? This is the second one now in the news in recent times. And this one was chained to a tree. So what is so valuable about these dang things? On the phone with us right now, troop leader of Daniel Island Troop 519, Bryan Brain. Hey, Bryan.
Hey, Rocky. How you doing, man?
Your trailer, how much stuff, when was it taken?
It was taken sometime Sunday evening.
Okay, now, and not only that, from the parking lot outside of a church, and you had it chained to a tree, right?
Absolutely. And we had a front chain on it as well.
Well, how much equipment would it take to get this chain off? How did they get the chain off? Did they just rip the door off or something?
Well, here's the interesting thing, and I can chalk this up to thieves being not the smartest people in the world. Mm-hmm. They somehow brought the tools to take the chain off the front, but because we think it was dark, they didn't know about the chain on the back. So our particular trailer is somewhere, hopefully in the Charleston area still, limping around with a broken back axle.
Ah, so be on the lookout for a white box trailer. Approximately how big is this thing?
It is a 7x10 trailer.
Okay, so it's an equipment trailer.
Yeah, and it's a brand new. We had just bought it 2 months ago, and unfortunately it does not have any Boy Scout markings on it because it was scheduled to be painted this week.
Oh, God. That's so bad. How much money are you guys out for the troop now?
We think that the replacement value on the trailer and all the equipment inside, you've got to remember, inside the trailer was all of our tents, our camp stoves, ropes, tarps, you name it, everything that you need to take 30 boys on a camping trip. Mm-hmm. We think all of that together was probably around $6,000.
Oh, man. Because the trailers themselves really aren't worth that much. I always wonder why people steal them. You can get them for a bargain just about anywhere. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And, yeah, you can. You can go to pawn shops and find them there. The thing is that the stuff on the inside, you have 30 boys.
That's right.
We
have 40 active boys, and we typically take about 30 on each camping trip.
Okay, so you have enough stuff in there to take 30 kids camping. And so I would say, now there's another one that was missing a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, Troop 776 in Somerville, the exact same thing happened the night before ours was stolen.
The night before.
So somewhere out there, hopefully still in the Charleston area, mm-hmm. There are 2 trailers, one of them with, in big numbers, 776 on the side of it. And obviously we hope maybe somebody in the general public will see 2 trailers sitting there that weren't there a week ago and can notify local law enforcement, and they can catch the people. Especially
if you live in a rural area, you know. Absolutely. I'm not telling you to go snooping around your neighbor's property. That's a good way to get your butt shot. But the thing is, look around, and if you see a brand new white trailer sitting there wasn't there before, go up and just kind of take a look at it. Take a picture of it. Take a picture of it and call somebody. You might be wrong, and if so, your neighbor won't be mad at you. I mean, he'll say, I get it. But the thing is that how do you replace all this camping equipment? Was it insured?
It was not insured. It was actually covered as part of the church's policy, but unfortunately there's a $10,000 deductible on that. So it doesn't really make sense, obviously, for us to...
Sounds like my knee. Sounds like my medical coverage.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah. So what do you do now? You guys had trip planned in the future. I mean, what is anybody stepped up to help you out? Get some calls or anything?
We are already getting a lot of support from the community. I mean, we have a great support of people here on Daniel Island. Mm-hmm. We have a great set of parents, great set of adult leadership. Could not ask for a better scoutmaster and assistant scoutmaster. So we're working on that. And I had a long conversation with the scoutmaster last night, and our intention here is to still do all of the activities we had planned for the boys over the next few months. Mm-hmm. We may just have to lean a little more heavily on equipment from the parents, to be honest with you, as we're replacing all of these things and as we're doing our fundraising.
So you're refusing to cancel events. That's good.
Yeah, and we're not going to do it. And we always try to teach the boys something. We always try to teach them life lessons. And unfortunately, this is one of the things that that they're going to run into sooner or later in real life. This is the reality of what we've got going on in the world. And we're taking this as a teaching moment. And one of the things I told my son when I was telling him about it, because he's a scout in the troop, is it doesn't matter what happens to you, because a lot of times things happen to you that you can't do anything about. What matters is how you react to it. And what are you going to do? And how are you going to pick yourself up, brush yourself off, and keep going? And that's the emphasis that we're going to have in our troop for the next few weeks, especially as we roll into our big fundraiser that we have in a month coming up.
Well, the story coming out and the fact that it is Daniel Island, one leg up there, is there's some big money players on Daniel Island, I know. And so I'm imagining maybe and the Boy Scouts, who doesn't like the Boy Scouts, okay? I imagine some people may step up here and within time, but my advice is get a paint job right away. You know
exactly.
What else you could do?
We're also going to be parking at a different place because, unfortunately, as you said earlier, who would steal from a church? We never really, that just never really came into our mind. But obviously there are people out there that did. But
being from the inner city where I'm from, I've seen churches getting broken into and entire boilers being taken out and everything like that, too. It just happens. But Daniel Island, you don't hear about crime much on Daniel Island. And the other thing is that what people do, thieves do is they go around and they go in and out of apartment complexes and condo complexes because there's usually a place that people have boats and trailers and things like that parked, one like open area. And that they go scouting and they mark down where they see stuff and they come back and, they just take it off. But see, your guys weren't real thorough. They took off not knowing the back end was chained to the tree.
That's right. Well, actually, the chain was wrapped around the back axle. So that's why we think that trailer is damaged. So, and I completely agree with you. I think this is related to the Somerville theft as well. So somewhere there are two trailers, one of them brand new white, one of them with the Boy Scout logo and 776 on the side of it. Mm-hmm. Somewhere there are two trailers where they weren't there last week. And man, that would be a great ending to this story if we were able to recover it. But obviously we're planning for the eventuality that we may not. Because
there's two ways that thieves will do this, okay? One, they will take that thing as far out of state as they can. I mean, it could be in Oklahoma by now. The other, right. That's the bad. That's the bad scenario. The good one is you got some bumbledum, out there in the middle of nowhere. I wanted to say another bad word, but I didn't. You got some real, mudwumper out there in the middle of nowhere, somewhere out Ravenel, somewhere way up Wadmalaw or something. Who knows? And he's got these in his backyard, and you know what? The one with the Boy Scout logo on it, he's got something up against it like a big hunk of plywood so you can't see it. So be on the lookout for that, friends. If you see a trailer that looks like the side of it is hidden, there could be a reason for that. They're hiding the logo, okay? Because Sheriff Al told me these trailers get stolen all the time.
Yeah, I think you're right. And what you said earlier, Rocky, is right on. We've got quality people here on Daniel Island. We've already got some people that are offering to step up to maybe help the troop replace some of what we've lost. And all I would do is ask everybody else listening as well, don't forget about the Somerville troop up on 776 because they're going to need some help too. They're in the exact same boat that we're in right here on Daniel Island.
All right, well, you go get that line there. And call me if there's any updates. Let me know, okay?
I sure will. I appreciate you having me on, man.
Sure, man. Bryan Brain from, he's the leader of Daniel Island Boy Scout Troop 519. And can you imagine they just bought this trailer? They got $5,000 worth of equipment in the back.
And he hadn't had it painted yet.
And he hadn't had it painted yet. Double chain down. Chain wrapped around the back axle. The front end chained to the tree.
Somebody wanted that bad.
Do you think they even feel bad when they get the thing to the destination and find out there's $5,000 worth of camping equipment in the back? And it's
you don't think they took a peek inside before they took it? Or?
No, the door's locked. They just come up and take them. They don't care what's in there.
Oh, really? Okay.
So what you got to look at, the pawn shops have already been notified. I can guarantee you about a sheriff's department. Pawn shops around the area. Be on the lookout for somebody bringing in some brand new camping equipment to sell to you. Because pawn shops all have those cameras overhead. And unlike what you see on TV, pawn shops aren't real fancy, like Pawn Stars. They don't get high works of art in there. Here, have this appraised for me in a pawn shop. But they do have cameras in there, and they don't want stolen equipment. I know you get that seedy pawn shop thing.
You don't see the antique roadshow scenario going on in the Yellow Man.
Yeah, I can't. What's the name of the pawn shop? What's actually pawn? It's on Wapu and 61.
I forgot the name of that.
I forgot too. I do deals with. That's where I got my bike. The bike nobody else wanted. It just sat there looking sad like the Charlie Brown tree. So I said, "Give me that one. I'll fix it up." Yeah, they didn't. They just wrote it like it is. But anyway, they don't want stolen stuff.